Hi, good day. I'm Salleh, and on behalf of Team 3, my members are Miss Azlene, Miss Chow, Miss Suzi. We are the student from University West Scotland. Our tutor is Dr. Catherine, and today I'm going to talk about the project that we have been assigned to under Business Creativity, identifying a company with challenges and coming up with proposals and to ensure that the company is back on track and make recommendation for that for them to be sustainable. Sorry. Yeah. So I'll just continue. Okay. We have selected Pfizer, and a bit of background on Pfizer. It was established 175 years ago in Brooklyn, US, United States, and now is headquartered in Manhattan. So these are the details, and Pfizer, I think they have significantly contributed to arresting and managing the COVID-19 challenges at that point of time. Why did we select Pfizer? Well, there have been challenges for Pfizer post-pandemic in 2022 onwards. Value of its shares market cap has significantly reduced. They have in fact made losses in the last quarter of 2023, which is surprising. And the business analyst has not been kind to them also in giving their opinion with regards to COVID, Pfizer's future due to COVID being declared as an endemic. Uh, these are the justification of priorities. We're looking at Pfizer should also be take cognizant on the global trend, leveraging on artificial intelligence, big data, and so forth. Uh, we will go down into our proposal on and recommendation on how Pfizer can arrest these challenges, refocus things, what are the direction they should go on and so forth. So we start with the fishbone diagram. It is a cause and effect diagram. It will help us to brainstorm and identify specific potential problems and challenges that needs to be addressed. Yeah. So, for example, the issue now is there is the downgrade of the share values and whatsoever. So, what are the issues that needs to be addressed? So, some of the issue that needs to be addressed also with regards to this particular financial item. So, later on, we will go down into the details on what Pfizer should be doing. Now, we start with a SWOT, strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threat. So SWOT analysis looks at the company from their own perspective, internal perspective. And that's good in the sense that it kind of let you gauge your own strength, but you need to be specific about this. So some of the strength that Pfizer has, for example, is on its branding, and weaknesses is that it's too reliant on the US government policies, close to the government for subsidies and so forth. There are opportunities for it to go to the new market, new emerging market, and so forth. And which are the threat of the lingering lawsuits or medical claims because of Pfizer's allegedly so-called negligence and so forth. Then we also put in the same format, in the same presentation, same page, is PASTEL. PASTEL looks at the current scenario or the current ecosystem where the business of Pfizer is operating in. So it's looking outside. SWOT is internal. Yeah. So politically, US, being close to the US and policymakers, um, they need to be very careful on that. So any exposure with regards to the political powers to be, let's say, the current Mr. Biden, policy or US policy, previously Mr. Trump's policy on make America great again, whatsoever, we have a direct impact on Pfizer. So these are the things that we just want to highlight to you. Legal, there's this impending global minimum tax of 15% across. So that is something that Pfizer as a group needs to look at to maximize their optimum tax structure and technology, not be left behind. There are certain things they need to jump on the bandwagon, kickstart their digitization exercise across. And subsequent to that, I wish to talk about Porter 5 forces. Porter 5 forces actually look specifically at the industry on where Pfizer is operating on, which is a pharmaceutical manufacturer. So SWOT looking at internal, PASTEL look at the ecosystem, Porter looks at the industry where it's operating on. I'll just cover 1 or 2 points. High entry level, yes, to be in the pharmaceutical industry, you need a lot of capital for the R&D, pre-R&D, maintain specialized machinery, technical people, and so forth. Competitiveness, intensity is very high. You have a lot of big competitors with deep pockets, so that's something that they need to look at. Now, on the application of tools, we've looked at some of the tools that we have learned during taking the business creativity course, namely the unbundling. This is very exciting. It's breaking up what they can offer. For example, forming a strategic relationship with other parties that's offering similar services to reduce costs, manage costs, moving away from high cost nation for certain processes, mind you, because you also may want to protect certain IPs and patents, and that's from that point of view. With regards to the multi-sided platform, I'll just pick one, would be M&A, merger and acquisition, which could be a costly affair, similar to Pfizer acquiring Seagen at 43 billion. But that may sustain its the R&D in years to come, including the potential patents. Mind you, patent will only last for 20 years, and after that is open to all. Now, I would also like to talk about the empathy map. The reason why our team is proposing that we also have a customer empathy map is to touch base. We like to understand how the audience, i.e. the customer, looks at Pfizer. What do they think about Pfizer? What do they feel about Pfizer? What do they see about Pfizer? So, this is something that we have prepared, and especially for Pfizer, reputable brand, recognized product, is the leading manufacturer, but at the same time, it is marred by the legal issues that has previously haunted them. The previous 2.3 billion so-called lawsuit that Pfizer has paid is always like a cloud hanging over them. So that is something that they may want to manage, and at the same time, being reputable, as I mentioned earlier, also give them options to collaborate with parties because of the reputation that is they are carrying. Now, we're using also the innovation landscape map. Now, innovation landscape map, it actually put in perspective what is the business model and also the capability or the technology or technical capabilities available. Before we even go there, we are also using the De Bono 6 thinking hat. This is to manage the ideas or the recommendation that we have. We want to walk away from the preconceived ideas by switching hats and focusing on what we need to do, getting data, ideas, and so forth. So one of the points I'd like to make is that under the disruptive column, the business model, they should focus on digital disruption. And on the opposite side, on the radical part, they should, at the same time, digitization and connect that with wearables, AI, AR, VR, predictive analytics arising from the data that's already available during the clinical trials. So that's what we thought. So using the Bono 6 thinking hat does help us to think differently and focus on each of the four quadrants. Future BMC or business model canvas lets us have a focused helicopter view or top view with regards to the 9 quadrants. As an example, we can look at key partners and attaching that with using a blue ocean strategy, which is an innovative so-called methodology where based on the current resources, how do you achieve more? So we look at the key partners and we're saying that they should create more business to government, not only with the states or US, but they should work more with other governments in other countries. For example, uh, Pfizer could have their own foundation, NGO, instead of maybe relying on um, Gates and Melinda Foundation, for example, because of the ESG, whatever, they'll put them in a better standing. Reduce high costs, for example, reducing a high cost in production, they could move to a lower cost country on certain processes. Again, mind you, you need to ensure that you've done enough duty on that country to ensure that you are covered in terms of the legalities breach or whatever. So creating new revenue stream such as subscription based and so forth. But again, at the end of the day, we just feel that based on the blue ocean strategy, our recommendation is for Pfizer to jump on the bandwagon on digitization and create all this um, under using the same resources. Now, the next recommendation is we have used the GALBRAITH STAR model. The GALBRAITH STAR model represented by the 5 so-called arms of the star or 5 points of the star. You need to balance between strategy, structure, process, reward, and people. How it works is, for example, I have a strategy. I want to do a genomic bespoke medication. Then I need people, technical know-how, bespoke training, and so forth. Then how do I keep the people happy? I need to have the monetary, non-monetary reward, work-life harmony. Then how you manage the structure, then you have maybe dynamic project based because these are professionals, and how do you ensure that everyone is following the same thing? Well, you may have horizontal and also lateral thinking or processes in place. So what it means is Pfizer will be in the middle and they will need at all given time connect all these 5 and have a structure in place that is interconnected, that is dependent on each other. And we strongly feel that by combining our earlier recommendation on business model canvas slash blue ocean strategy together with, to a certain extent, the GALBRAITH STAR model on the strategy, structure, and so forth, we can improve, or Pfizer can improve their business standing and be sustainable in the near future. Okay, that will be our presentation for today, short presentation for today. Do take care and thank you for the opportunity